Trinidad and Tobago hit by a 5.2 magnitude earthquake over the weekend. And the new weather alert on the heels of Tropical Storm Gamma, Tropical Storm Delta is now threatening the Caribbean. We're tracking all the severe weather. A COVID outbreak hits a school in Barbados. A student testing positive sparks a 14-day closure. Caribbean leaders send well wishes to U.S. President Donald Trump as he battles the coronavirus. Meanwhile, Trump's presidential opponent, Joe Biden, is courting Caribbean American voters with 2 campaign stops in South Florida Caribbean communities. Residents of Guyana taking to the streets again to call for justice for the murdered Henry cousins. Trinidadian American rapper Nicki Minaj welcomes her first child. And Belize is celebrating its first commercial flight since March.
This is the Caribbean Times News with Alisha Davis.
And welcome to the Caribbean Times News. I'm Alisha Davis in New York. Thanks for being with us. And we begin with our headline story. Trinidad and Tobago hit by a 5.2 magnitude earthquake on Sunday. It sent shockwaves across the island. Fortunately, at this time, there are no reports of damage or injuries. Meanwhile, on the heels of Tropical Storm Gamma, parts of the Caribbean are on alert as Tropical Storm Delta is forming in the region. A hurricane watch has been issued for parts of Cuba, while a tropical storm warning is in effect for the Cayman Islands. Delta is the 25th named storm in the Atlantic Basin and sets a record for the earliest we've ever seen a 25th named storm. Now to a COVID outbreak at a school in Barbados. The Ministry of Education announcing Sunday that a 15-year-old student from a school in St. Michael tested positive for the virus. The school is expected to be closed for a 14-day period to facilitate the necessary contact tracing and a thorough cleaning of the building.
The Ministry of Education, after consultation with the union representatives, has agreed to the temporary closure of the Ellerslie Secondary School for a period of 14 days from tomorrow, the 5th of October, and the classes will therefore resume on the 19th of October. During this time, we are asking all parents, students, and teachers to cooperate fully with the Ministry of Health officials as they continue to do contact tracing. Students must, wherever possible, remain at home, and parents should contact the Ministry of Health and Wellness hotline in the event that they develop symptoms of any kind associated with COVID-19.
Classes are expected to resume on October 19th, with students learning online during the closure. The 15-year-old student is reportedly doing well. Well wishes poured in from heads of state from around the Caribbean following U.S. President Donald Trump's COVID-19 diagnosis. Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Mottley, and President of Guyana, Mohammed Irfan Ali, were among the leaders who wished the president and First Lady well on their recovery. Mottley took to Twitter and expressed best wishes on behalf of her government, while Ali, in a letter to President Trump, expressed the same and even thanked the U.S. government for the assistance given to Guyana during the ongoing fight against the pandemic. Well, as President Trump recovers from his COVID-19 diagnosis, U.S. Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is courting Caribbean American voters. Biden is making campaign stops in 2 South Florida Caribbean communities, Little Haiti and Little Havana, before a town hall scheduled for tonight. Now, Florida is a crucial battleground state in the election. Coming up, St. Lucia is battling a dengue outbreak, and Nicki Minaj is a new mom. We'll have the details coming up.
Since the coronavirus, global travel seems risky, but with Promo Caribbean, you don't have to worry. Our COVID-19 alerts feature, coupled with our comprehensive travel guide featuring over 20 countries, contains all you need to keep updated and safe during the pandemic. Whether it's Belize, Barbados, Haiti, or Guyana, our travel guide has all you need from safe places to eat, transport options, pharmacies, embassies, hotels, and Airbnbs. Not feeling well? You could take the COVID self-assessment test on our app. If you happen to be in the Caribbean or are looking to travel during these uncertain times, then Promo Caribbean is going to be your best friend. Today more than ever, you need to stay informed and stay safe. With Promo Caribbean, you don't have to worry. We've got you. Download the app from the App Store or Play Store now.
Mac Shack New York, dedicated to providing a unique dining experience by offering classic, seasonal, and modern creative macaroni and cheese flavors. Find their locations at macshacknewyork.com. That's MACSHACKNY.com.
For the latest in Caribbean culture, news, sports, and entertainment, tune in to CaribVision. We keep you up to date on developments in your region. CaribVision. We broadcast across the Caribbean, in the New York tri-state area, Canada, and Europe. CaribVision, the eyes and ears of the Caribbean.
Welcome back to Caribbean Times News. And a COVID outbreak in Jamaica's prison. The Jamaica Department of Correctional Services reported that 14 people at the Tower Street Adult Correction Center have tested positive for COVID-19. 2 are staff members and 12 are inmates. The department said that all infected people have been placed in isolation and contact tracing activities are underway to help contain the spread. Meanwhile, the island has recorded 91 new cases and 3 deaths, pushing the total Jamaican death toll from the virus to 119 people. Well, St. Lucia is battling a dengue outbreak. Health authorities say that the incidence of the mosquito-borne disease has increased to a total of 503 cases recorded to date. Fortunately, there have been no deaths so far. And residents of Guyana are taking to the streets again to call for justice for the murdered Henry cousins. People claiming to be relatives of the late Isaiah and Joel Henry, along with residents of West Coast Berbice, began blocking roads with old tires and debris that were later set on fire. The protesters raised concerns over the delay in the ongoing investigations into the murder of the 2 teens. And Nicki Minaj has added a new title to her list of accomplishments. The Trinidad-born rapper is now a mother. Minaj and her husband, Kenneth Zoo Petty, welcomed their bundle of joy on September 30th in Los Angeles. That, according to People magazine and other media sources. Minaj first announced that she was expecting her baby back in July in a series of posts on Instagram alongside several glamour baby bump shots. Now, when we come back, help for struggling Caribbean American businesses, and Belize welcomes its first commercial flight since the shutdown. That's just ahead. Stay with us.
Since the coronavirus, global travel seems risky, but with Promo Caribbean, you don't have to worry. Our COVID-19 alerts feature, coupled with our comprehensive travel guide featuring over 20 countries, contains all you need to keep updated and safe during the pandemic. Whether it's Belize, Barbados, Haiti, or Guyana, our travel guide has all you need from safe places to eat, transport options, pharmacies, embassies, hotels, and Airbnbs. Not feeling well? You could take the COVID self-assessment test on our app. If you happen to be in the Caribbean or are looking to travel during these uncertain times, then Promo Caribbean is going to be your best friend. Today more than ever, you need to stay informed and stay safe. With Promo Caribbean, you don't have to worry. We've got you. Download the app from the App Store or Play Store now.
Mac Shack New York, dedicated to providing a unique dining experience by offering classic, seasonal, and modern creative macaroni and cheese flavors. Find their locations at MacShackNewYork.com. That's MacShackNY.com.
Welcome back to Caribbean Times News. As coronavirus cases are starting to spike in several New York City neighborhoods and the city considers shutting down some schools and non-essential businesses, the Caribbean Attorneys Network is hosting an event to help the city's small business owners to stay afloat during the pandemic. Earlier today, we spoke with a member of the Caribbean Attorneys Network, Renee Kendall, about their efforts to help small businesses in tough economic times. So now tell us about your event and how that event can help these small businesses.
Sure. On October 7th, the Caribbean Attorneys Network, in conjunction with the Caribbean Business Connections, is going to be hosting an event called Resources for New York City Businesses. Our guest speaker will be the Small Business Commissioner, Mr. Janelle Doris. And we will be speaking to small businesses about the resources available through the Small Businesses Association, where small businesses can access resources specifically available for them through the city. The city has made a number of additional resources available during the pandemic, and our event will be used to raise the awareness and create access to these resources.
And are there a few examples that you can share with us of these resources that the city is making available?
Specifically, additional funds and ways in which businesses can operate even within the regulations established as a result of the pandemic.
All right. Very important information. Thank you, Renee. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And that was Renee Kendall from the Caribbean Attorneys Network. And that event, Resources for New York City Businesses, will be held Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And finally, in our Caribbean Moment by Caribbean Journal, Belize is celebrating its first commercial flight. After a 6-month shutdown following the COVID-19 outbreak, Belize's Philip Godson International Airport was open to tourists on Friday. The reopening comes with a number of safety measures, including a 7-checkpoint system for entry into the country to ensure the safety of travelers. And that does it for this edition of the Caribbean Times News. You can catch us streaming live on Facebook every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, or anytime on our YouTube channel and at CaribbeanTimesNews.live. So to all of our viewers across the Caribbean and around the world, thank you for watching and good night.